Hello and welcome to Mylio's first ever Instagram Live, where I will be joined by tech and lifestyle creator iJustine. Let's give her just a few minutes to join. My name is Matt Vollet, and I've been at Mylio for 7 years, currently as Mylio's product designer. Now, for those of you who are new to Mylio, Mylio turns your devices into an intelligent system for managing the visual story of your life. And now we're teaming up with Justine for our Mylio and iJustine 5K Dream Camera giveaway, where we are giving away a 5,000 Dream camera of your choice from Canon, Nikon, or Sony, lifetime access to Mylio Premium, a Seagate 5 terabyte external hard drive, and a personalized Mylio concierge service to make sure you get the complete Mylio experience. You can enter this amazing giveaway by visiting mylio.com/iJustine giveaway. The link for our giveaway is also in the bio, so you can tap there to find it. And man, I wish that I could join this giveaway and get 5K. With that said, our very special guest should be joining in just a moment, and I am so excited. Hello, Justine, welcome.
Hi, I'm in my sister, well, it's my niece in her playroom. So I hopefully she doesn't try to come in here and play with her toys. But
Oh,
I'm
that's
here
the
and
perfect place to
so
be.
excited.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you. Hey, for those of you who don't know Justine, she is a one-woman digital phenomenon, techie, gamer, vlogger, author, digital creator. She's a top online personality and was named one of Hollywood Reporter's 50 most powerful digital players, as well as made Time's Most 100 list. If you're not already one of her 6.8 million subscribers on YouTube, you are truly missing out. And I'm just so excited that you're here and using Mylio as a Mylio Premium subscriber.
Yo, I'm very excited. So this is awesome. And I see a bunch of people. I saw Trish in here. Hi, guys. Thank you all for joining. This is really fun. And it's cool because like when you guys reached out and first told me about Mylio, I was like, okay, is this another photo sharing app? No, like it's completely different. And I was so excited and just like blown away by just the ease of use and how it basically changed my workflow. And I feel like a lot of people, like we're all so set in our ways. So even for me to like bring something new and just like start using a whole new kind of thing to do my photo organizing, I was like, this is so much easier. And it's actually made my life, especially someone who uses multiple phones and multiple devices, like so much easier. So I'm
Well,
I'm so excited.
that makes me so happy to hear. And I know that like as a tech reviewer, you must deal with so many different phones and cameras and drones and tablets every week
Yeah.
that you're taking pictures with. Do you know how many pictures you actually have even?
Okay, so I went through and originally because I was planning on traveling and I was like, I would love to back up all of my photos from all of my drives. So I started getting out drives and all and everything. So then I had to quickly come back home to visit my family. But it is on my to-do list to get all of my every hard drive that I have completely archived and just have that all organized. Now I tried to do this a couple of years ago and it was just such a hassle because it's like there's really no easy way to do this. And the second that I booted up Mylio and clicked and imported all of my photos like from my computer, I was like, that's it. And then like you guys, it like organized them. And then I was like, okay, cool. Let me go get my laptop. And then I did that, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I went and got my phone, and then like I have other like phones, like Android phones, and it's great because I feel like it always takes so long to upload things to Google Photos. And this was just, it felt like it was almost instantly because it's basically like using my own network. So it was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, exactly. That makes me so happy to hear. Speaking of your Android phones that you're using in conjunction with your other Apple devices, you did a video recently on the OnePlus 9 Pro
Mhm.
where you kind of talked about the transition between Apple and Android and bringing your photos over and what a pain that was. You were using Google Photos and then telegramming the images to yourself so that you actually have them on your Android phone. I'd love to hear about what you think, how you think Mylio would have simplified that process.
I mean, it would have made such a huge difference. And I didn't even realize what a huge difference it would have made because it kind of just happened like passively. I was like, okay, well, I'll go grab this Android phone and see what happens. And then I downloaded and like imported and then just like forgot that I even did that. And then went back to my iPhone and I opened up Miley and I was like, oh, those photos are already here. Like, this is it. Like, I didn't have to do anything else. And I think we did like a little pre-call and we were chatting and I was talking to you guys. And the thing that I actually found very useful was using it for like work projects as well and using it not just for photos, but for like screenshots of various like PDFs and documents that I need for specific projects. So I'm able to like make an album with that whole project. Like I can have the contract, I can have all of the social media aspects, like everything that I have to hit for that. And no matter what phone or device I have, as long as I have Mylio installed, like it's there and it's cross-platform on like the PC and on my Android. So honestly, like I can't say enough good things about it, and it's just been a really cool experience.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love that. So, I mean, you've mentioned a couple things. One is bringing all your pictures together, which is a huge part, it's a foundation of how we want to use Mylio, where if you have old hard drives or SD cards or cameras or phones, we try to make it as simple as possible to install Mylio on any device and bring all those things just directly into one library so you can view them all. And then you mentioned, syncing them and having them wherever you go. So we can, we don't always have to carry the full size originals, where you can have a smaller version of the photo if you don't need the high res version, but then we make it super easy to get the original if you want it. But that way you can take everything with you on any device, even a smaller iPhone that doesn't have all the space. So yeah, that makes me, it sounds like you're diving in and enjoying it.
And I think even my question too, because this isn't stored on the cloud, like this is like a local base. So can you like explain that, just for everybody else too? Because, when you guys even told me like, oh, it's not in the cloud. I'm like, well, where is it? Is it just magic? Like, how does this all work?
Yeah, it's definitely a different experience. So, with a lot of photo organizers nowadays, they're just making one library and they're putting it in the cloud and using a massive amount of storage. Instead, we think that people, how much is a 5 terabyte hard drive nowadays? It's not that It's not that expensive. So we want to give people control of their images. So we let people connect external hard drives. If they want to use the cloud, they can absolutely use the cloud. We connect to Google Drive and Amazon Drive and OneDrive and let people store things there. We let people encrypt it and put it up there, but we just try to give people control. So when you store your originals, we have a device called a vault where you keep all your originals stored. And those can be, great places for vaults are things like external hard drives or large desktop computers or things that actually want to store originals. But then when you're on your phone or your tablet, we have these optimized versions that you can take around. They're just, they're just small little representations of your photo. And if you want to request the original to share it with a friend or to print it or anything like that, we can do that. And instead of using the cloud as kind of a hub for everything, all of your devices connect directly to each other over your local network. So that not only makes things secure, so you're not giving your data to the cloud for someone to go and figure out what a cereal box is. You are, sending them directly to each other very quickly and securely. It's a completely different experience than a lot of people are used to with their current photo organizers.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And obviously like the cloud is there and an option, but I feel like a lot of my friends included, like they're like, we don't trust the cloud. We don't want it to be there. So I think you have varying degrees of how people feel about these things, and being able to have this option like this is amazing.
Yeah, the cloud is interesting. 2 weeks ago, there was a major cloud outage and it took down like a ton of really popular sites and services. And so it's scary to think that I would have wanted access to the data that's mine that I care about, and I wouldn't have had access to it. I couldn't get to it. So we're really into local storage. You probably have the storage across your devices anyway already. And if not, storage is so cheap that you might as well keep control of everything that's yours.
For sure. No, it's been awesome. But I also love the photo tagging features, and just basically like, oh, I can go in and tag a few people, and then using AI, it's like, oh, you just searched my entire library, found all of these people. And I was having such a fun time going through and just like tagging friends. And every time I would find all these old school like throwback photos, like for a week, I was just sending everyone. I was like, do you remember when we did this? This was so fun.
That's the exact same thing that I do. Yeah, it's so easy to surface these memories. We have a view that you've probably seen called the life calendar, and it's so nice to just see everything made already for you. It's all automatic just based off the metadata of your photo. And yeah, you can just go to any time and see exactly what you were doing on any day. And then we make it pretty easy to send them off to your friends and remind them of the good times that you've had.
Yeah, and then I know like my parents have scanned in a bunch of photos, so I had a lot of those and just like, I don't know, just random places in my phone and on my computer. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I got to figure out what dates these were. So I kept asking my mom, I was like, do you remember what year this was? And thankfully on some of the photos, whoever scanned them, I think my dad did, he had like the date in the title or like the name. So I was like, oh great, December 1986, this is perfect. Thank you, Dad, for naming these files properly.
That's so lucky. I have a folder in Mylio that's just called like figure these out. I think it's called sort me. And it's
Yeah.
literally I went home to Cincinnati and I did a scan of just like thousands of pictures and they're just in a folder and I'm like, I don't know when any of these are. But
Yeah,
one another
same.
thing that's really cool though is that we do what we call fuzzy dates. So even if you don't know
Mhm.
the exact day that a picture was taken, you can kind of give it like a range of dates. You can literally say this was taken in December of '86 and
Hmm.
it'll keep that attribute of like a general time frame instead of a very specific date and time that is usually required for metadata.
That is cool. And I like the map view too, because I used to travel a ton. So being able to just kind of like zoom out and be able to see like all the places that I've been and kind of just go into to different locations and see like what I was doing at that time is really cool.
Yeah, it's nice. We took a cross country drive at one time and I don't visit the center of the states a lot, so there's just a line coming from Ohio to Seattle, and I'm just like, well, there was our route. There's exactly what we did.
That's kind of cool. Like, what do you think your favorite feature is? Like, especially having been there, like, do you have something that you're like, this is my favorite?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty big on privacy, so I really like that we're not cloud dependent. I really like that the things that we do, like face recognition and our OCR, where we process all the text on images, all done on device. I think that it's a big market differentiator, which is nice. But also, I don't know, I'm not that public of a person. It's nice to it's nice to know that data is mine and the things that I care about are mine, and I don't have to worry about anyone
Mhm.
snooping.
Yeah, and even being a public person too, it's like it's nice to be able to have just all of your stuff everywhere too. But I just love that it's the cross device. It's just because I mean, especially somebody who's reviewing new devices all the time, to be able to just have those ease of use and especially for phone reviews, because I'm always cycling through mostly like Android phones. And I feel like that process of getting the Android photos to my Mac, it seems to be like that was always kind of that pain point. So now that this has kind of alleviated that for me.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I know I have a Google Pixel 3 right next to me that I use for work a lot. And
Mhm.
even if I'm like taking screenshots of the app, getting it to my Mac where I'm actually doing my work, it's like, how am I gonna make this happen? And every time I have to
Yeah.
think about it. Where with Mylio, I can just take the picture, it automatically shows up when I open the Android app, and then it's on my computer right away. And since we use the file system, which is another pretty unique thing, the picture's like it's in the file system. I can just go and grab it and have the original file right there.
Yeah, no, that was cool. I was also surprised how fast it was too. Like I was doing like a real-time demo in like my little Instagram video I made, and it was like an authentic reaction because before I had filmed the video, I hadn't tried any of the filters. So when I pushed it, I was like, oh, that just changed instantly, and it's so quick. I was so amazed by it.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely another huge advantage of not using the cloud. You know, if I'm using the cloud, then I make a change on a device. When it has a good connection, it sends the change up to the cloud, and the cloud hits the device when it comes online. But we can skip all that. We just connect two devices directly to each other, and it makes it super fast and super easy and fast and secure.
It's so cool. How many devices can you connect like all together?
Yeah, so we don't have a limit on our premium plan. You can put as
Mhm.
many devices you want on there. On our free plan, we allow three what we qualify as devices, which is pretty much things with a screen. We never
Mhm.
limit you from protecting your library. So if you want to hook up an external drive or a cloud, please do that. We want to make sure your pictures are secure. Um, but on a premium plan, connect as many as you want.
Oh, I'm going to. I think I have like five or six right now, but that's just because I've been traveling and I have plans for when I get back. Like I've got like a whole jellyfish server of just content. And the thing too, which is interesting, obviously on a lot of those drives, I have just hundreds and hundreds of photos that I've taken just for thumbnails. So it's like a lot of those pictures I might not really actually care that much about. So it's not like I can have these full high-res versions of every single possible pose for a
Yeah.
thumbnail. But it is good to know that I do have those at any point if I ever need to like reference back to something.
Yeah. I mean, it must even feel good, like just to be able to look at what you've accomplished. That you can just kind of scroll through and see, like, oh, I remember when the Mac Pro came out.
Yeah. Or even like being able to figure out when that was
Hmm.
because it's like you might not I don't remember all the things that I've covered. So if I'm even able to like look at those dates to be able to go back, like that could actually I didn't even think about that because that could help out a lot too when I'm looking for like, oh, when did this last drone come out? And I can just like open Mylio, find the drone folder. And it's cool with the tagging and stuff too, because I mean, I'm like actually thinking of ideas here as we're chatting, like ways to use this. But yeah, doing that would actually be really cool. I'm excited to see how much content it actually is able to pull in.
Yeah, we should be able to grab pretty much anything. We have plenty of users that have over 1 million photos in Mylio, which is a lot of photos.
What?
It's a
Yes,
lot of
that's gonna
content.
be that's my future.
That's your
And
goal.
then I haven't messed around too much with like the video aspect. So you don't actually have a video editor, but you can still view like video content too.
Yeah, absolutely. We have an inline video playback for pretty much every video file, so you can open it up and view it right in Mylio. And we don't do like trimming and
Mhm.
stuff in Mylio, but we do allow you to put presets or change, histogram edits. You
Yeah,
can change the exposure and stuff like that, color correct.
that's cool. Yeah, because I feel like you guys, I mean, that's not really the main point of it. Like we all have video editors, so that's not really what we would need it for. But it is
Yeah,
cool that I'm able to still at least view the videos and things like that.
even with, I mean, another great thing is even though our editing suite is, it has the fundamentals, it has what you need to get in there if you know what you're
Hmm.
doing. But because we use a file system, we have full interoperability with every other application. So if you're a pro in Lightroom, you can go and as long as you're pointing at the same file, then all your changes in Lightroom are going to come over to Mylio. And you'll see those
Yeah,
then show up in Mylio and then reflect on all your Mylio devices across your full Mylio library.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I love Lightroom, but it's one of those things like I open it and doesn't have that same kind of like interface to be able to search and like the tagging and things like that. So you guys have definitely got the marketplace on that.
Yeah, we love Lightroom as an editing tool. We think it's a
Hmm.
great editing tool, which is why anything that you do there, we want to represent in Mylio as accurately as we can. So hey, I have a question that I wanted to ask, if I can find it. What do you think? So I want to know about a photo that would just be devastating to lose. We care a lot, and one of our taglines at Mylio is never lose a photo. We care a lot to make sure that you're protected and that the photos are yours and on all your as many devices as possible. Do you have any photos that if they went away, it would break your heart?
I feel like any of my photos really, because it's like there is a gap in my timeline right now of a phone that I don't think ever got backed up to the cloud. And like to this day, I don't know what those photos are. I don't know which phone it is. So it's like it's so painful for me to like think like and I think at that span of time was during my sister's wedding. So it's like all those photos that I took during like, one of the biggest times in her life, I was like, I don't have those on my phone anymore. And so still like that bothers me so much just because it's like I don't have those and I can't get them back because I don't know where they went.
That's
I
so
never
sad.
uploaded them anywhere. I know it's so sad. I feel like I was actually because of Mylio too, it kind of brought that back up because when I was looking at the calendar view, I was like, there's a whole year missing. And I was like, where did that year go? So I'm hoping that it's somewhere like on a hard drive that I backed up. So hopefully that Mylio will help me kind of find that on a missing drive somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the great things I think that is really cool with the calendar is you can go and like really see gaps in memory in there and try to find it. And then yeah, you can import from all your external drives. And if there's exact duplicates, we'll notice them immediately and we won't re-import. And then we're
Mhm.
working hard on a dedupe tool that we hope to be out soon. So
Okay.
get as much as you can in the library and we'll help find that year if we can.
It's somewhere, but where, I'm not sure. I'll let you know when I
Yeah.
find it.
The good thing about the wedding is at least other people probably have photos and you could bring in
They
pictures from friends
do.
and family to try
Yeah,
to fill in the memories.
that's true. I'm like, hey, sister, can you please give me all those photos that you took so that I can fill in the gaps here?
I'm sure she'd be happy to. Everyone likes
Yeah,
sharing their wedding pictures.
they do, for sure.
So I want to talk about the giveaway that we're doing because we're all really
I'm
excited about
so,
this.
so excited because I mean, it's a great giveaway. And I feel like that's one of the things that, like, something so, I mean, it's a large giveaway, but like something like that can be so impactful for a creator, like to really get you started.
Yeah, I've been watching our Instagram feed as people are talking to us, and there's a lot of content creators that really want a new camera and think it would be impactful for their aspiring careers. But as someone with that position, what would you recommend that people look at when they're get this $5,000 towards their dream camera?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because there's so many options out there, and I'm obviously a huge Sony fan. But honestly, like, there's a lot of really great choices. So I think just do your research. If you have lenses already, normally I think a lot of people would kind of stick in that sort of same family. But for me, like, if this was me winning, I would be like, Sony a7S III, hands down, that's it. And then obviously, saving up for lenses is something that, I mean, it can be really fun because you're like, okay, I have my goal set to get this lens. And like lenses can really just change the game as far as what you're taking photos of and video. And my favorite lens is the 24-70 G Master. Like that's our go-to. Basically, if that's the only lens that I have, like I'm happy. Like I can do a great job with that.
Yeah, that's a versatile lens.
So great.
So there's this cool thing in Mylio. I'm going to bring it back to Mylio, obviously. There's a library stats panel in our dashboard, and in there there's a whole section about lenses, and you can actually go and see all the lenses that you've used, and you can select a specific lens and see the images that were taken with that specific lens.
That's really cool. So this is the thing. It's like I keep finding like every single day like something new. I'm like, I didn't even know I could do this. Like I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah,
That's
we have a lot
really
of things.
cool.
You can do it by file type and lens. You can even do it by like aperture and all those little details.
That's really cool.
It's
Yeah, I think
nice.
that's the fun part too, because it's like you never think that you're gonna want to search for something like that. But for me, if I'm doing a lens review and I just told you guys how great this 24-70 is, there is no way possible that I would be able to just go through and search for every photo that I took with that lens.
Yeah, no
So
kidding.
yeah, now I could. That's pretty cool.
You mentioned when we were doing a demo with you for Mylio, and you
Hmm.
mentioned that a lot of your audience is really into privacy.
Hmm.
What do you think overall, maybe it's privacy, do you think your audience would most enjoy about Mylio?
I think how easy it is, honestly, because it's like we don't have time to go through and just organize photos. Like it takes a lot of time. So even I was like, okay, this is gonna take forever. Like I don't have time to do this. And all I did was click like 3 buttons and like everything just was importing. Like it just happened. So I think for me that was kind of like a huge game changer. That's why I'm super excited to kind of just go through and do this for every single piece of content that I have, just to have it archivable and searchable. And there's also so many times where I will think of something like, oh yeah, I did this thing and I want to show somebody. And I'm like, oh shoot, that's on my server. That's not actually online. So now I'll be able to just like, here it is, search it. And I mean, I'm obsessive about like tagging things too. So I was like just spending so much time making sure everything is labeled and has its right, um, just like folders and things like that.
Yeah, that makes it. So we have another thing called events in Mylio. So if
Hmm.
you do use a lot of folders, you can actually turn those into events. And what that does is on the life calendar, then as you're scrolling and you see certain years, you can see right on the calendar the things that happened that year. And they can be color coded by, personal things or work things, or, you can rate them by the event importance. You can say, this is an event of the year, this is the event of the month. And it makes it really easy so that when you are going back and scrolling through, you can put, this is Bree's wedding, or this is when you
Hmm.
got DJ Minimat, or whatever it may be. You can have that all
Yeah.
right there inline.
It's his birthday today. It's also my dad's birthday
Oh,
too. So yeah, we have like a little cake for him. We also have a cake for my dad too, but Maddie, of course. I was like, Dad, sorry, we chose the birth date of you so that we would make sure we could just celebrate them both together. But
there's
again,
only
that would be
room for
cool.
one.
It's true, I know. But that is cool because it's like you can have like dad's birthday, Maddie's birthday. There is a pets folder that I have of just all the cute pets that I've just like randomly like seen on the street and things like that. So I've just been putting them into that folder.
We do allow manual face tagging too. Our face tagging doesn't do animals, but you can like tap and hold on a face and you can say, this is DJ Minimat, and you can have an album just for him.
No, yeah, it did. Like it tagged him. It's great. It's
It's,
incredible. Which is so weird. This is the craziest thing. So a lot of my friends' dogs, like we've tried to use apps before, like face apps, and like they won't detect them, but they detect Maddie as a person. And it's the craziest thing ever. So like all of those like face apps, like I was like the aging app or something. I was like, it's detecting him as a person.
totally
It's
normal.
incredible. Totally normal.
So you've alluded, so another thing that we've discussed is how you're using Mylio. You can see benefits for both in your personal and professional needs. Can you speak a little bit about how you would use Mylio differently between those two things?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be using it actually. Like, I've just been thinking of other ideas. So, because we do a lot of huge projects. So, for example, say I'm reviewing Mylio. So, obviously we're working together. So, there may be some sort of document that you're like, oh, we want you guys to talk about these things. I would just make a whole Mylio folder, put everything that we've talked about, screenshots from emails, you know, like any reference videos or anything like that, everything just basically all into one folder. So no matter which computer, which device I'm on, I can always go and reference that. And then we did, there was like a couple photos that you guys needed for like the website. So I would just put everything in there. And then I would just be able to like keep referencing back. But I just think being able to have all of that stuff just sort of here is so important. And then I also have a folder that is auto populating all of the thumbnails. So right now what I've been doing is I've had that stuff all in the cloud in like a specific folder, and that just automatically uploads. So it's like now I'll be able to do that. And because it was on Apple, I couldn't ever access that stuff when I was on my phone, like my Android phones. So now, and then, or even on my PC. So it's just, this makes it so much easier, and it's all just integrated right there. So I have like years and years of thumbnails from all of my videos just right there.
That's really cool. All right, I have one last question as Mylios product designer that I feel like I would be remiss not to ask. If you could have one thing, what is your dream feature in a photo management application?
Oh my goodness, a dream feature? I mean, you guys have literally done everything. So like even the things you're telling about, like the lenses, like I didn't even know that was a thing. Dream feature. I might have to get back to you on that one. But I do love like the AI stuff. And I feel like that's only getting better. So I can only imagine like the next year, like what you guys are going to be able to do with that. Yeah, I mean, I love just having things kind of just like auto populate, like, oh, you did this on this day. Like those are always my favorite things.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, quickly, since you mentioned we've talked about our face tagging and our OCR a little bit. Those things, another differentiator between us and other services is that those things are actually all done on device. So we're not sending anything out to the cloud to do it. Everything's happening locally, right on your phone or right on your computer, which is
That's really
kind of
cool.
crazy.
And then I feel like for you guys too, it's like every time there's a new device out, it means you can like push the envelope, like you can do more things because those devices are becoming way more powerful and also more secure. So it's super exciting, especially as a product designer. You got to be like, I'm hyped.
I'm pretty hyped. Yeah,
Yeah.
This time of year is always fun with WWDC and seeing what we're going to be able to do in the fall.
Yeah. Oh, that's like iPhone season. It's always so exciting.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very busy for you too.
It's great. I love it.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It's a little bit after 12:30, so I just want to thank you for joining me and talking about Mylio. Everyone, we're going to save this to IGTV so you can watch it later. If you're not following Justine or Mylio, both of our handles are in this IG Live. Definitely be sure to enter the Mylio and iJustine 5K Dream Camera giveaway. The link is in our bio. And of course, if you're interested in discovering how to protect a lifetime of memories, download Mylio today. We're available on all of your devices. An enormous thank you to Justine. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yes,
this was a load of fun.
Thank you. And thank you to everybody in the chat. I see you guys. I love it. Everyone's like, I've been watching you for like 5 years. I've been watching you for like 10 years. It's amazing. So honestly, it's like, I'm just grateful for them, and I'm just excited for them to try this out. The fact that you guys have a plan that, is easily accessible to everyone is really cool.
Thank you. Yes. Hello, everyone in chat. Sorry we didn't get to questions. Maybe we'll do this again and we can answer some questions that time.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Perfect. Bye, Justine.
Bye. See ya.